So I guess, who am I, right? Well, I know your dad from the Corps, and I've been in the Corps since I was 24 years old. I'm
Wow.
41. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So I was really young at the time when I started to be exposed to these high caliber performers, as far as their mortgage journey, right? And so that, luckily for me, that was the norm. But when I was young, I was actually in trouble a lot. I went to juvenile hall like 50 times. I was a rebel, but my dad was extremely successful, so at least I knew it was in my DNA, which is nice. But what I love is on the opposite spectrum is my mom was actually, she suffered from mental illness, and so I had half of both lives exposed to me, one of someone extremely successful and one of someone who pretty much lived on Social Security and really suffered until she passed away at 54. So I saw my choices very clearly. I could go down one path or I could choose the other. And so what I love about the Corps is, to me, the Corps was my bumpers. And so they help keep you on track. So when you fall astray, as far as your focus, they create these bumpers. Okay, no matter what, this is what you do every day. No matter what, you call this many people, and this is who you call on Monday. This is who you call on Tuesday. And filling a greatness tracker, as weird as that sounds, filling a greatness tracker was the bumper for me. And this is over the last, since forever. So probably 2009 is when I really started to break. I think that was when I started to do production over $500,000 in income. So I was just 30, hitting my 30s, and I think 31, et cetera, is when I made $1 million for 7 or 8 years in a row. Then I went self-employed and went to the broker side and left. I was at Summit for 12 years, and then I left and went to the broker side. But truthfully, one thing I did the whole time on the sidelines is, and one of my favorite parts of the Corps was making sure we tithed and we gave to charity. And I love the Lord, and I truly feel the reason why I went on a better path is that God also has always been with me the whole time. And he, the Corps is my work bumper. God is my life bumper. Bumper like it's a bowling alley, how you can throw the ball, and even when it tries to go into the gutters, the bumpers, keep you in line. Like, that to me is what you need. You need bumpers in your spiritual life, bumpers in your personal life, bumpers in your work life, and then that's the way I think to succeed. And so I also have a nonprofit that I run with animals, and so much fun. It's insanely fun. I have 30 plus animals that I share with the public, and we were doing nursing homes for probably, I was visiting hospitals and nursing homes since 2015 with my mini horses. And, or 2006, 2006 is when I got my first mini horse that I could bring anywhere. And then I for over a decade, I was doing nursing homes and everything. And with the pandemic, though, really to protect the older people, I stopped doing that. But we've been doing circus practice for kids, where we teach them how to do gymnastics on horseback. We do liras, we do silks, we do tightrope walking. It's so much fun. And so that's like my hobby. That's kind of why I work. So I do mortgage, and I work so that I could afford to have animals and share animals, because that's my peace in life. That's where I fill up my cup and where I feel like, gosh, you're never judged. And animals, they heal you. They don't judge you. They love you. They just bring so much happiness. And so, so that's what I do. I have PTSD. I was kidnapped before, and it was very traumatic, actually twice. And so then I had nightmares, and I felt awkward around the public, and I had just a lot of stuff I felt like that haunt you. And so with the animals, none of that exists. With the animals, you live in the moment. With the animals, you're just enjoying the peace of the now. And so that's what made me want to just share that with everybody. And with the horses, because I have, oh God, I think I'm up to 9 or 10 big horses, 7 mini horses. Yeah. And then six or 7 dogs. I don't know. But it's a sanctuary, and it's a magical place. And so we went from 7 acres to now 60 acres. And we're currently building an even bigger facility so that we can do nighttime. So we can do shows, and we can invite the public, and the kids that have been practicing on the animals get to do a performance and dress up in costume and really put on their own little circus. And so, but anyways, yeah, that's who I am, and I've been coming to I've been in the Corps, and I've been coming to the Corps since 2004. So it's been, and I'm a lifer. I'm going to be in it forever. And that's when I met your dad, and I thought, what's funny is I love to dance, and he loves to dance. And I was like, look at this guy enjoying himself. And I felt the same way. Like, I don't care if there's nobody dancing. I'm going to be dancing if music's playing, because that also brings me joy. You get to live in the moment. And honestly, that's how I met your dad. He was just cutting a rug, doing his own thing. And I'm like, yes, my kind of person. And those events were so awesome. And yeah, so that's who I am. So I'm sure you have some questions.
Sure. Well, first off, I want to say you have such an amazing story. You're such an inspiring person. Definitely going through what you have, and the fact that you're still so kind and nice, and you care so much about people, and that you're a nonprofit. I think that is so amazing. So I want to say a big kudos to you. I think that is so awesome. And that whole not animal thing and visiting the nursing homes, I think that is so awesome. And I love animals, and I totally understand how, like, that feeling of feeling so safe around the animals. So I totally understand. And I just think that is so cool. So I wanted to say that first of all. I think that's so amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah. And then I guess I would say you've been in the Corps for a really long time, and the Corps can be kind of intense, and I'm sure you're well aware. What do you think was something in the Corps that you learned? And I'm not saying it has to be like the biggest thing or the only thing, but maybe it was something that you heard from the Corps, or you're from coaching, and it really opened your eyes, and it was like, wow, this is something I really needed to hear in this moment. If I heard it at any other moment, I might not have cared, but I really needed to hear it in this moment right now.
Okay. Well, one of the things that resonates, and Rick told me this. So at different times in my life, in my career, whatever, I would experience it's harder for me than others. I'll see, and I'm like, why is it harder for me? This is so irritating. Like, okay, I'll do the same production, but then they'll get in and I won't, or And anytime I ever went to a place of feeling like a victim, in a sense. Because I was raised by someone with schizophrenia. She had serious mental illness. Loved my mother to death, but she constantly lived a victim life, And so sometimes I would have a tendency to go there, and Rick would go, all right, because half the time I'd be sitting in my car when I'm talking to him in the mornings, and he'd go, pull down the visor, look in the mirror. Okay, repeat after me. I am a strong, powerful woman in control. And I would say that. I'm a strong, powerful woman in control. And you're just really honestly, psychologically taking back your power. And so my kids, since they were 2, 2 girls, I go, what did mommy tell you? And they go, I'm a strong, powerful woman in control. And they're like 9 and 6. And to the day I go, what does mommy tell you? I am a strong, powerful woman in control. So whenever I hear them be powerless over their something outside of themselves, I honestly just try to ingrain that same message of, no, you do not have to allow this outside anything to, impact you. How do you take back your control in the situation, right? And just remembering that you are who you think you are, and thoughts become things. So whatever you think, that's what you're going to create. So you have to think wisely, right, with your thoughts. And And don't let your mind be polluted with negativity, because what you think about, you bring about. So if you're going to think negativity, guess what? You're going to bring that into your life.
Yeah.
So it's very, very important to self-talk and talk to yourself so that you can live the life you want, or create the situations that you want in your life.
Yeah, definitely.
Easier said than done, but it's something to come back to for sure. Something to come back to for sure.
Definitely. I think that is so cool to look in the mirror and say that, like, I'm a strong, powerful woman in control, right? That is so cool. And I'm so glad that, you know, you're teaching your kids at such a young age to do that, because I feel like nowadays, especially in the younger generation, it's really easy to get in your head about that kind of thing, and to think that, like I'm not worthy or whatever, and people get really insecure really, really easily. And I think that is such an awesome thing to do, and it's definitely something I should look into doing more. I think that helped me a lot. And
Rick taught me that.
Yeah, that is. I should start doing that. I will. I'll start doing that. That'll be helpful. Well, thank you so much. That is such an awesome piece of advice. Is there anything else that you'd like to add for, like, maybe a 17-year-old kind of jumping into that business world, leaving college and getting into that business world? Are there anything that you think they should keep in mind? Any skills they should develop? Any lessons they should learn?
Yeah, one thing that is, don't be compliant. So what happens is, I do not, like, being a rebel in high school, great. What it looks like is you get in trouble, bad things happen. Being a rebel in your business life, to me, is like when people keep telling you, no, you just find another way. You just find another way and do whatever it takes. Like, just don't ever let any roadblocks keep you. That, all a roadblock means is you got to try something else. So just not giving up on that destination that you're heading. It's just anytime anything gets in your way, you got to find another way. It's like a puzzle, and it makes it more of a game, and it makes it more fun. And that's really it.
Well, that is awesome. That is a great piece of advice. Thank you so much for sharing. Definitely people get, like, if someone says, like, oh, you can't do that, my immediate response is like, who are you to tell me I can't do something? But I know there are definitely times where someone's like, oh, don't do that. You shouldn't do that. And I'm like, yeah, and then I get scared. But I think that is such an awesome piece of advice, like, don't be compliant. That is so awesome. So thank you so much for sharing.
No problem.
And taking the time today. And you just shared so much great information. And I'm definitely going to do that thing in the mirror every day. And my dad's going to listen to this, and he's going to hold me accountable. I know it. But
you're so cute.
That is, thank you so much. It's definitely something.
Well, have a great day, and thank you for reaching out. And let me know if you ever need anything else.
Of course. Thank you so much. Have a great rest of your weekend.